Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold for last weekend, Friday through Sunday, July 5th through the 7th. And y'all, my sales were down, but a lot of that is my fault because I mentioned in a previous video, or in my last what sold video, that I'm putting all of my my eBay catalog into List Perfectly, and it took me 7 days, and I didn't want to have to go in and edit to change everything to the original price, so that when I cross-listed it wasn't going to be at the 10% off sale that I tend to run on eBay at all times. So I didn't run a sale. Probably, I want to say like Thursday or Friday up through, I want to say Wednesday. I think it took me, or Thursday, and then I started to sell again, and my sales have been still down. So I think right now it's just down in general. I see lots of posts on Facebook of people saying that, you know, they're seeing a marked difference in the numbers of sales they're getting. I think people are on vacation. You know, we're getting ready to go on another vacation, so, you know, it's just that time. In Tennessee, where we live, school's getting ready to start again in like 3 weeks. We start at the beginning of August so that they can have first semester done by Christmas break. So, you know, lots of people are doing last minute vacations and stuff. So, you know, do what you can, you know, keep listing. You know, my goal always to keep in mind is fourth quarter. I sell a lot of toys during that time. So, you know, that's my goal. But this last week, you know, with Robert being gone too, you know, I just didn't make any videos. I just focused on List Perfectly. And I really want to thank Rhonda from Got Junk in Our Trunk for helping me with this project. She's the one that said, did you know that, you know, about the Express Lister, and go watch these other videos, because it's such an amazing thing. And then she's been available for all of my little questions, because it's a learning process to get it all figured out. But y'all, I'm loving it. I'm using the Express Lister on most things. I didn't care for it so much on my toys, but you know, the hard goods, the other things, clothes, it's really helping me a lot. And then while I'm doing Express Lister, then I'm just listing it to eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. So it's taking a little bit longer for me to process stuff in the morning, because, you know, I'm still in the learning curve, making sure I fill in all the blanks, going back to double check something, you know, all the little things that I keep forgetting to do. And then cross-listing to 3 platforms. Now, we also are taking down most of our listings on Poshmark. I've already deleted out Mercari. And I'm starting to cross-list back to there with clothes, which I never did put clothes on there. But last year, I made some major changes with eBay, as far as I went in and I tweaked titles, I changed prices, I decreased a lot of my older stuff. It's been a chore to try to link the listings that are on Poshmark to the catalog on List Perfectly. So we got about 500 done, and Robert just decided it's probably just easier to start over on there also, because my prices are less. So some things, you know, my prices were ridiculously high compared to what they're on eBay. Plus, for Poshmark, I used to raise my price. When I first started on there, you know, I was, you know, not impressed with the 20% fees, and you had to give discounted shipping when you accepted offers, but that's changed as far as the shipping. You no longer have to give discounted shipping. So I had been raising my prices from eBay to Poshmark by 10%. But I've realized, you know, by the time I run a sale on eBay, I take offers, and then I have, you know, final value fees and promoted fees. It's more than 20% of my price. So I just decided I'm going to match the prices. You know, whatever is on eBay is going on Poshmark, is going on Mercari, and is going on Etsy. And, you know, that's just how I'm going to do it. And hopefully I'm going to start picking up sales on the other two platforms. Because once we get Poshmark deleted and I can really start focusing on getting stuff cross-listed to all the platforms that it's, you know, can go on, then I think hopefully my sales are going to pick up on the other platforms, because they've been pitiful. They've been awful. In fact, for this video, I have nothing from Mercari to share. So I'm, you know, fingers crossed that we're doing all of this work for a reason. But you need to always keep in mind how you're going to grow your business, how make changes when things aren't working the way you want them to. And I ain't afraid of a little bit of work, a lot of work. This has been a lot of work, but I'm not afraid to do it. And, you know, I will spend as much time as I can to get it to the point where I like it, because I'm really looking forward to the, you know, the delisting, which it's been doing. Right now I don't have very much cross-listed, but, you know, it's marking my eBay items sold in the catalog, and just, I'm having, you know, I'm loving what I'm seeing. And the whole delist, because I do end and sell similar, was an issue. And I've talked about that in the past, and I've had a couple of comments about that. But y'all, I'm just doing things normal. You know, I go on eBay every night and I end my listings and then do sell similar. And it's 400 to 500 to 600. That only takes about maybe 15 minutes. But now List Perfectly has a link button. After I've ended all of those listings and did sell similar, Robert's been going in and relinking them. And it's just a matter of click, 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 and everything's just redone. So it's taken a little bit longer than 15 minutes to fix them. But, you know, if I can keep doing all of these things that I think are going to make things easier for me in the long run, you know, I'm on board. I'm on board. All right, I've chatted enough. I keep getting comments about people not wanting to hear stuff. You can take that out, Robert. All right, let's get to the reason for this video. Couple of sales on Poshmark. I sold this Aurora Gray Hippo for $15. And then I sold this Cloud Bee Giraffe Lovey for $23. And then this Barney Dinosaur Push and Go Train from 1994 sold for $10. It was an old listing, so, you know, I'd rather make the $7.05, which is what you get when you sell stuff for less than $15 on eBay. I mean, on Poshmark, to make it gone. Make it gone. All right, and then on eBay, like I said, I wasn't running a sale during this time period, so it affected the number of things that I sold, but I sold quite a bit at the full asking price, so I was happy about that. But if you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping on any of my platforms, and so when I say something sold for $12.95, the buyer also paid shipping. So these are Cabbage Patch Kids doll shoes. I had a ton of doll clothes, totes and totes of them that I've been slowly but surely going through. I still have more, and trying to divvy them out into Build-A-Bear, Cabbage Patch, Batot, Our Generation, just all of the different things, and then just unmarked, and then making lots up. So it's a chore, but it's something I enjoy doing. I just need to make the time. All right, this was from the high bid estate sale that we won, I think, over 3 years ago. Tons and tons of vintage advertising plush and other stuff. And this was one of them. It's an American Cancer Society bear from 2002, sold for $8.21. And this is one of those times where this person sent me a message, wanted to confirm the condition, because it did have a little mark on its face. She wanted to make sure there were no other marks that were not shown. This was from that bucket of My Little Pony vintage stuff that I picked up at our friend's estate sale. I paid $25 for the whole box, and then there were a lot of non-My Little Pony stuff in it. There were several pieces to She-Ra, Princess of Power. This was a saddle, and it sold for $10. Fairy lamp. I paid $1 for this at a church yard sale. This ended up being, I think it's called Stars and Bars. I think there's other designs that do better, but it sold very, very quickly for me. Paid $1, sold for $16.16. McDonald's. This was also from the Hibbett estate sale. This was McDonald's Scooby-Doo Halloween bucket. I bought a huge box full of vintage kids meal buckets. I think some were Subway, some were Hardee's, some were McDonald's. But this particular one finally sold for $15.26. Lego Duplo figures. I tend to make lots for these. I think sometimes I'll do just girl lots, boy lots, mixed lots, animal lots. Just really depends on the moment when I'm listing. But these 3 little figures sold for $8.96. Ingrid Limited melamine dinner plates. You know, I bought one stack at a yard sale for $15. I'm not sure if this was part of that one. But anytime I see melamine, I think is what it is. I definitely check comps on this. This was actually a pretty good brand. It had yellow and I think purple maybe pieces and parts. I decided to do the 10-inch plates all together. It was a set of 6, sold for $26.95. LEI women's jeans. This was Ashley style, listed forever. Probably a brand that I'm not going to pick up as often, but it sold for $9.13. But y'all, we talk about this quite often. I live in a very rural area, and so we source what we can find. And sometimes it's these mall brands, you know, Aeropostale, Old Navy, LEI, Levi's, Wranglers, Lee. And it sells, but, you know, I need them to move a little bit faster than some, you know, certain brands are going to take longer. Shorts, not so much. Everything is selling that are shorts. Levi's $5.50 men's jeans sold for $15.94. All right, this buyer bought 2 items from me. Bought this M&C mini doll. I think I picked this up at the bins in St. Louis. Took an offer of $7.05 for it, and then she bought the vintage Ken flannel jacket Barbie. So she bought the 2 items, paid a total of $14.10 plus shipping. All right, Fiesta Gentoo penguin plush sold for $17.95. This is Despicable Me Minions, sold for $13.45. This is, we used to pick up a lot of bread makers. We've not been picking them up as much. The thing with bread makers is what really sells is the paddle. That little thing that goes down inside of the bread pan that mixes everything up. But people have picked up on not selling them for really cheap at yard sales because we don't find them very often anymore. Maybe people are just keeping them because, you know, groceries are expensive. I love making homemade bread. So, you know, we haven't picked them up in a while, but just keep in mind, it's harder to sell some of the bigger pieces. This was the last piece to one that we sold. It's Magic Chef, and it was the lid. And it finally sold for $8.95. All right, this item, again, was listed for quite a while. It was, the brand is Smile, and it was just a bear with pajamas from 1990, sold for $9.86. Bread and butter. All right, Bonobos men's jeans, straight, sold for full asking price, $24.68. These are Levi's 513 men's jeans. Really nice condition. Sold for $19.99. Daisy Kingdom fabric. Past and Presence was the name. It was written on the side. And it sold relatively quickly for $15. Little Bo Peep crook and sheep. It was like a doll accessory. The person sent me a picture of a doll that she intended to put with it when she made the offer. And then she sent me a picture after she received it with the doll. So I thought it was cute. But it sold finally for $9.99. Picked this up recently at an estate sale or a yard sale. Can't remember. Paid $1 for it. It is Kiss Symphony Alive, and it sold for $15.50. Pottery Barn, Make a Difference, Unforgettable coffee mug. Listed for a while, middle of last year. Finally sold, but at my full asking price, $19.95. Build-A-Bear, I just listed these from the 2 boxes of stuff that I picked up at a yard sale. I paid $10 per box. It was tons and tons of clothes and shoes with a few accessories. These were just candy cane, and I decided to put them together. Sold very quickly, $14.95. Kurt Adler Sesame Street ornaments, sold for $11 offer. TNT doll figure from 1991. To me, it almost looked like maybe it was a cake topper type thing. I didn't put that in the listing. Maybe I should have. And it sold, again, $10.95. All right, Maid of Honor stainless spatula. We bought this at an estate sale that our friends Scott and Christina from Trading Post Pickers was holding, and paid $1 for each of the utensils and stuff. And this one sold very quickly for a best offer of $15. Minions Blushing Talking Bob plush. Had a little bit of issues with, discoloration, writing on the tag, but it sold very quickly for $25. Gund Pusheen Dinosaur plush. These used to sell very well for me. They take a little bit longer now. I'll still pick them up and put them in lots. But this particular dinosaur sold full price because I wasn't running a sale, $24.95. Gap women's shorts sold for $10. Blue's Clues Salt and Pepper and Baby Paprika from 1998 sold for $9.95. Mattel Barbie doll Halloween witch hat. Again, it was in my profit pile stuff that I went through. Sold for $7.95. All right, I just picked this up at a recent yard sale. Bought a bunch of vintage Baby Morgan sheet sets, Teddy Betty Bear stuff, and a couple of other vintage baby blankets. Paid $2 for the blankets, $1 for the receiving blankets and sheets. Y'all, I've already sold the sheets. I showed them in my last video. 2 sheets for $100, and now I've sold this waffle weave blanket for $39.95. Ice cream maker Krups. This is just the plastic cover and sold for $9.95. Playskool Tinky Winky Teletubbies plush from 1998 sold for $32.95. Milton Bradley Mall Madness replacement piece. I bought the game. It was missing some pieces, so I decided to go ahead and just part it out and see what happens. There weren't many examples of people parting it out, so sometimes you just gotta go and see if it's going to work for you. And this part sold for $14.95. So I've made my money back, and everything else will be profit. Fisher-Price Little People horse blanket that goes to the castle. My friend Sam picked up a bunch of Little People stuff for me at a yard sale. I paid $50 for 5 lots of stuff, and I've already sold lots and lots of it. And this piece sold for $17.95. These Play School puzzles, y'all. I used to sell them a lot, but I think because of the weight, just one puzzle is already over a pound. I've chosen not to pick up. I went to an estate sale this weekend, had several more, and, you know, at $1 a piece, but they just don't sell like they used to because I think of the weight. But finally sold this one with Grover in a hot air balloon for $6.95. I think I might have 1 or 2 more puzzles left. Another puzzle, we just finished putting this one together. White Mountain, our favorite puzzle. And this one was of Yosemite National Park, sold for $9.95. All right, and then this Cloud Island Gray Dog Lovey. It was big. It was kind of more like a mat than a lovey, but I always throw that word in there. And it sold for $29.95. And last but not least was these Fisher-Price Elephant Plush. I actually have 2 sets of them, and this one sold for $9.95. Like I said, fewer sales, more full price sales, but, you know, I'm back doing my sales, doing the end and sell similar, doing the things, trying to still list 20 a day. But now I'm also including cross-listing 20 a day, which I haven't been doing that on a regular basis. So, you know, I'm hoping all of this, all the changes that we're making are going to start seeing improved sales. You know, eBay does well for us, but these other platforms also hopefully will start doing better performance. It's just a wait and see game. But y'all, this new List Perfectly stuff that I'm starting to figure out, just very excited to do these changes and see how it works for my business. All right, y'all, it's time to get to work. Bye.